Johnny Torres, and this is another episode of Osprey Observer TV. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining me, as always, is Editor-in-Chief of the Osprey Observer, Marie Gilmore. And we have a fun interview today because we're always looking for great, fun, exciting family things to do in our area. And, you know, one of the things I love about Florida, and it actually just hit me, over the last year or so, is that the environment is our economy. You know, we talk about how important our economy is and how tourism is our economy. A lot of people think, Disney, right? Or the theme parks right away, Busch Gardens. But the environment is really our economy. People come here for the sunshine, the beaches, the nature, the wildlife that we have out there. And so right up that alley, Marie's got an amazing interview for you.
Good afternoon. We're having a great time over here at the Osprey Observer, and we've got a fun interview today. So we're all looking for things to do. We've been stuck inside. We're doing social distancing, but we're looking to also appreciate the great outdoors. And there's a local business down in Little Harbor called Latitudes Tours, and it can give families the opportunity to do a little bit of an eco tour on their boat, go out for a guided tour for a morning or an evening, and have some fun in nature. Definitely fits the bill for social distancing and everything we need to do today. Today we have Nancy Lopez. She's the co-owner of Latitudes Tours. And welcome, Nancy.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me on today.
Tell us a little bit about your business and how you guys got started.
So we are rounding the bend on our second year, so we're real excited about that. Yeah, and so we're a little business. The captain is my husband, Captain Dave, and we have a young lady named Melissa who does all of our narrating of our tour. She's also our first mate, and she does a fantastic job. And we've built ourselves a nice little 5-star eco tour business down in Little Harbor. So we're real proud of that. We have a lot of really strong local business and repeat customers and people that come from out of town. And so, we're doing pretty well down there right now, but we could sure use some people come by and say hi.
So one of the great things about living here in the Bay Area, of course, is, like you said, just, the fact that our environment is our economy. Because people come here for the beaches, they come for kayaking, they come for, the springs, you name it, right? And so give people an idea from one of your tours. What can they expect to see?
We are truly an eco tour, and it's an experience. It's kind of like going to a museum, but you're actually taking a tour, you're taking a ride. And so you get a little trip through old Florida. And Melissa does a fantastic job of really bringing you through a little bit of history. She explains to you how the animals interact with the environment and how that's so important to our ecosystem here in Florida. And you get to interact with some of the animals too. Sometimes we see some dolphins and manatees. We'll see osprey and lots of different seabirds. And then you'll have a chance to, sometimes we have dinner tours and lunch tours available, so you'll get to eat on board with us as well. So we also have parties. We do private party tours, and we also do memorials and things like that. So we're kind of, we have a little bit to offer to anybody that's interested.
So Nancy, I know from a personal experience that we had the opportunity to come on a Latitudes tour with our team, with our Osprey Observer staff, and we actually chose to do the dinner cruise. And that was just wonderful. We had our whole team come, everyone got to bring a spouse. You even were able to accommodate someone with disabilities that was in a wheelchair. You had a ramp available and we could bring them onto the boat as well, which was a really nice feature. And then we started out on our cruise. We got served a nice dinner. It was a steak dinner. It was really just nice to be out in the fresh air, enjoying the scene. It's a nice slow moving cruise. There's no, it's not waves and crashing, no seasickness, because I have a sensitive stomach. So I didn't even need to take any Dramamine or anything. And it's just a great way to see the sights. Plus it's just so close to home right here at Little Harbor. It's so easy to get to. You've done a wonderful job of giving us something to do close to home. And I can tell you, we're still talking about the pictures and the fun that we all had on the Latitudes cruise.
No, I'm glad that you brought that up. When I mentioned that we have a really strong local, following here, we actually get a lot of locals on board, people that have lived here their whole lives, and they've heard about us, or they actually live on the river and they saw a boat come by, and then they say, oh, well, let me just check this out. And so they get on board and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this existed. I didn't know that we had all this wildlife here just right under our noses. I didn't know all these things about our local area, because Melissa does such a fantastic job of really describing what happened here. We talk about the conquistadors that actually landed right here in Tampa Bay. They came right through here, believe it or not. We also talk about, what is Tampa Bay known for? All of our pirates, right? So we have some pirate stories that we tell. And of course, we talk about the animals, which Melissa is very, very great at. She's a certified naturalist. So that's her thing. And so she will tell you very much in depth about the animals and stuff that we encounter. So it's fun. It's fun for people that think they know everything about the area and then find out that maybe they didn't know as much as they thought they did. And it's fun for all ages. We've had everything from infants to, I think our oldest might have been 98 or 99 recently on board. And as you mentioned, we do our best to accommodate people that have disabilities. So walkers, wheelchairs, we have a ramp to the dock and we have a ramp onto the boat. So it does help when people have disabilities. We can do our best to help them get aboard and have some fun with us.
Now, Nancy, what have been some of the adjustments you had to make with coronavirus? And
one of the very first things that we did was we limited the amount of people that we had on board. That enabled us to do the social distancing properly. And, a good part about us is that we're an outside activity. So, it wasn't required that we have masks just as long as we were social distancing. And so that enabled people to come on board with us and enjoy the fresh air, get outside. And so we, as soon as we could open right back up after, we were allowed to, we were very lucky enough to have people getting on board with us pretty immediately, because I think they were having some cabin fever. And because we are such a small business and we are doing our best to accommodate everyone's needs, obviously if people want to wear masks, they're very welcome to do so. And if they have health concerns or considerations, when they call us, we do our best to make sure that we can accommodate those as well as we can. So, we can really customize people's experience to make sure that we're, considering what their needs are and making sure everybody's happy and can have a great experience with our company.
And Nancy, let us know how people find out what your schedule is. Also, give us an idea about a little bit about what your costs are.
Sure. So typically we do 3 tours a day. So we have an eco tour in the mornings, $25, and then we have a lunch and dinner tour. The lunch tour, it runs $25, and then it's an extra 10 for a meal, so that'd be $35. And then we have a sunset cruise. Leaves an hour and a half before sunset, and of course that's a moving object. And so that runs 30, and then it's another 15, so it'd be 45 for the meal. And so I do have to put the caveat in there that we live in Florida. Weather's always a consideration when we're here in Florida. So we do have to consider that. We do end up rescheduling people from time to time, but most people know that kind of ahead of time. We always ask to, kind of consider the weather. And then what else? What was your other question? Did I cover everything?
Go to find out when you travel and how to book.
Okay. Yes. The other thing I did want to mention is we do have a minimum. So it's a big boat, and we want to make sure we have enough people on board to be able to take the boat out at one time. So we have a minimum of 6 customers. That doesn't mean you have to book 6 in your party, but we do like to have 6 on board in order to take a cruise. So it's best to call and make a reservation ahead of time. You can also go online and look at our website at latitudestours.com/cruises. And then you can see, you can choose whichever cruise you'd like to go on, and then pretend you're booking, and it'll show you how many seats are left on a cruise. And then you can kind of guess from there if there's enough people booked.
Okay. Perfect. And what's the most surprising thing or animal you've ever seen on one of your cruises?
I'm sorry, you hung up there. Can you repeat your question?
Oh, I said, just one question is, what's the most surprising item or animal you've seen on one of your cruises that was kind of unusual?
One of the things that's really elusive for us are the birds. So, typically we're going to see dolphins or manatees fairly regularly. But the spoonbill is kind of special. That's the really kind of bright pink bird. It sort of looks like a flamingo, but it has like a flat spoon-shaped bill on it. So we get kind of stupidly excited when we see the spoonbill out there. They kind of come around seasonally. And so when we see the spoonbills, we act a little silly.
Aww.
Yeah.
And why is Little Harbor such a perfect place for you guys? And why did you choose Little Harbor as the destination or the location to house your business?
We were kind of looking around all over the place, and we ended up in Little Harbor by happenstance, actually. We heard that there was a demand for a boat like ours, and we were sort of planning on doing tours along with sunset cruises with meals and something like that. And the more people we talked to, the more people said, oh my gosh, you have to do it here. And we live here. So we were like, why not? Why would we want to go somewhere else and do this? So we ended up in Little Harbor, and the business has just been really, successful and in demand. We have been very happy to be here. It's kind of sandwiched between, the beaches and in Tampa. And the way this business actually developed, there's not really anybody doing what we're doing or similar to what we're doing. You have the dolphin cruises out by the beaches, and those are really purely dolphin cruises, or they're booze cruises, right? You just go out for an hour, you get drunk maybe, or as drunk as you can in an hour, right? And you may see some dolphins. And ours is very different. Like I said, it's more like, you're getting a class while you're out there on the boat with us, and it's kind of an immersive experience. So, ours has just turned out to be a lot different than some of the other things that are happening around.
Well, I know from personal experience that it's a lot of fun. We actually want to come back and now do the morning cruise, because we've done sort of the sunset dinner cruise, and I look forward to it. It's close to home. It's nearby. It's outside. The weather is getting beautiful to where it's pleasant enough to really enjoy the outdoors in Florida. So I think you're going to see me back really soon for another cruise. Nancy, thank you so much for the business you brought to Little Harbor and to our area, and we look forward to seeing you again. We'll be happy to share this information with everybody.
We definitely appreciate it. And I just want to give a shout out to you guys. You have been such a great advertising partner for us. And if anybody is like on the fence about working with the Osprey Observer, please work with them. You guys have been such a great support to us all, in the last 2 years. So I just had to give a shout out to you too.
Oh, Nancy, that means so much. And I did not pay for that endorsement.
Oh, no. I couldn't get through the interview without at least saying something, I mean it. I mean that wholeheartedly. You guys have been, for somebody that has a small business and somebody who's just starting out in the area, to be working with another company, like a publication that knows the area and that knows the other businesses and everything that's happening in town, it means a lot. And I think that people should know that. And you guys have helped us out so much. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Nancy. We might be having you on as a guest every single week at this time. So, we'll just
I'm now the official spokesperson. No.
Thank you so much, Nancy. We're going to see you so soon. I can't thank you enough for those kind words. I'm going to share them with the team. It really means a lot.
Oh, well, I mean it straight from the heart. We really do.
Have a great day, Nancy, and we're going to see you really soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again to Nancy for those amazing words from Latitudes Tours. We wish her the best and Captain Dave the best. And, she was a fantastic interview, Marie. And I'm a little disappointed that I didn't make it to the dinner tour, but I won't hold a grudge against you.
Next time.
There we go. So there's so much exciting stuff happening in Tampa Bay that unfortunately we can only enjoy at a limited basis. The Rays are doing well. The Bucks are doing well. The Lightning may end up being the Stanley Cup champions. So there's so many great things happening in our community. What's happening at the Osprey Observer?
So we've got a few stories to talk about this week. We've got some amazing members of our community. So over at the Campo Y, we've got a basketball coach who has just finished his 25th year.
Wow.
Of coaching basketball at the Y. If you have a child or student who has ever played basketball at the YMCA program, you probably know this gentleman. His name's Bill Johnson, and he is just a fantastic coach who's dedicated 25 years to coaching our kids in basketball. So thank you so much, Bill, for your dedication to our community and to the kids. And if you're at the Y, let him know you appreciate him. 25 years is a long time.
Absolutely. Think of the generations he's touched. And, some of my coaches are still, some of the most influential people I've had in my life. And so kudos to him. And gosh, we certainly need more people like that.
We absolutely do. And then the other thing we've been working on, it's the season where it's almost October, if you can believe it. And of course, Halloween's going to look a little bit different this year. We did get to do that great interview with Hallow Scream, the director of Hallow Scream, and find out all the great things they're doing this year with one-way direction in the haunted areas and everything. Well, there's some other Halloween events that are going to happen. The Larry Park Zoo has got a Halloween event planned. There's also a really neat haunted Halloween drive-through in Orlando that's got a drive-through trick-or-treat and a drive-through haunted village. So people have gotten creative this year. We've got a whole listing of them. We'll put them online on the ospreyobserver.com so people can check them out and find that socially distanced, safe Halloween activities this year.
That drive-through haunted house, that's got to be really interesting. I mean, because you're in an enclosed space already, and then to have all kinds of stuff happening around you, oh man, I don't know. I know. Well, the good thing is, at least for this Halloween, is that everybody's already wearing masks, right? So you're ready to go. I mean, it's going to be a fun Halloween season, regardless. And we know, in talking from Hallow Scream, Busch Gardens, that it's always been a fun family event, and they're going to do, of course, their best to make sure that everybody can not only have fun but be safe doing it.
100%.
So thank you again to the team at Osprey Observer. For more stories on what's happening in your community, make sure you visit ospreyobserver.com. On behalf of Marie Gilmore and the team at the Osprey Observer, I'm Johnny Torres. Thank you so much for watching Osprey Observer TV. We'll catch you next time.